best music.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 4 of Nighttime. My name is Camden Mowery and as you heard earlier, I am joined by, of course, Emily, Aaron, and by the 28-year-old Nate Marrero and the young stud Noah Kemper. How y'all doing over there on the couch?
It's like 1,000,000 degrees over here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm already sweating.
Is that light killing you?
Yeah.
Making you look a little bit pasty over there.
Yeah,
Noah.
I'm gonna be like 36 by the time this segment's over.
Sunglasses memo.
Yeah, that's, well, he said.
That was a thing.
They
Well, we
wanted
have to. Look at the lights.
It's, hey, future's so bright, gotta wear the shades, you know?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, Noah, Jayhawks got a nice win a couple days ago. How we feeling?
Rock, Chalk, Jay, Hawk, we are back.
That might be the most annoying thing I've ever heard anybody say.
We'll
Dude.
get used to it.
Hey, we're going to talk about college basketball later, but as of now, we're going to start with UCF men's basketball. Now, we got something to talk about here because they've lost 4 in a row, all right? This is starting to get a little bit out of hand here. I know we have some injuries with some of our big men, but still, this is not looking too good. Losses to Temple, losses to Houston, which wasn't that bad, USF, and a loss to Tulane as our last 4, if I remember correctly. Emily, what's going on?
You tell me, Camden. I don't know what's going on with our team because this is a little out of control. Losing streak of 4, we're not using our players to their fullest potential, and it's kind of embarrassing. It really is. It's not giving a good name to our basketball team. We have a loss versus Temple. It's a bad loss in overtime. We're 4 and 5 in conference play, and our next game at Cincinnati is a must win. If we don't win, then Johnny Dawkins needs to spend. Sayonara, deuces, Johnny Dawkins. He needs to go. Because we cannot have them playing like this every single game. This is 4 in a row. It's not okay. It's not okay at all.
Right, if that loss against Cincinnati happens, it'd be 5 in a row, and that's just not good. Nate, Noah, whoever wants to go first, what's going on with this team? What needs to change?
Well, ever since they've lost Michael Durr, they've been allowing about 87 points per game. Before that, it was just under 60. So, I mean, he's not someone you look at, he's the stat sheet, he doesn't really stand out. But you look at their defense, it's been awful since he got hurt. And C.J. Walker being out for the season hasn't helped as well. Darius Johnson's been in and out with some injuries. And honestly, their schedules, I mean, the AAC is a pretty good conference. You got Houston, Memphis. Temple has been killing it in conference play. And just, I think losing Michael Durr has been something that not everyone's talked about enough.
Well, hey, one of us here mentioned it a couple weeks ago as their nightlight because I got to talk to Michael Durr. He's in a cast right now, but he said Tampa's better than Orlando as a city.
Oh.
And I don't know about that one, but we're going to have to see if he knows what he's talking about with that one because he did transfer from USF. Obviously a big loss. Noah, do you think he's the reason why they're not, or why they're allowing 30 more points per game?
He's definitely a big factor. Him being out, it's just, I mean, another big factor is just losing games that we're supposed to win. We lost to Tulane. We lost close game that was mentioned to Temple, and then the double-digit loss to USF. That's just outlandish. That's unacceptable. We can't be losing double digits to USF. I mean, it's just on top, and also on top of that, yes, the defense has been bad, but look at the offense. They're almost as worse. 172nd ranked in field goal percentage, 123rd ranked in offensive efficiency. Our offense is just as liable for our defense for these losses.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not one to call for someone's job, but this needs to improve before they go to the Big 12.
It's overdue.
That's a beast waiting for them.
So what is it? Is it Johnny Dawkins? Is it the injuries? Is it teams figuring out Taylor Hendricks? What is the reason, if you guys could put it into sentences?
Well, I think they've been very reliant on Taylor Hendricks, and he's been great, but he's a freshman, so you're going to have your growing pains. And, I mean, Johnny Dawkins definitely deserves some of the blame. And I'm not one to call for someone's job. He's great, talking to him. He's such a nice guy, but there needs to be a change, whether it's the personnel or maybe it has to be the coach. I'm not going to call for his job, but something definitely needs to change.
Right. Emily, you think Johnny Dawkins should go if they lose to Cincy, don't you?
100%. Because we're seeing, like, just like Nate said, we're seeing the same things with the players. We're, not having them to their full potential in the game. We're losing some, like, things like that. So that you can't really control because it's getting hurt. What you can control is your coach who controls what you do every single game. Okay? He needs to come up with a new plan, or we need a new coach with a new plan that will do better for our team.
Love it. Good stuff, gang. Now let's go ahead and move to Final Four predictions in college basketball. As we talked about last week, we're over the midseason hump. We're a month away from March Madness, which is everybody's favorite time of the year. We got something special at HTF for that. Noah, I'm going to start with you. I know you're going to talk about Kansas, but who are your Final Four predictions for this year?
So this is kind of hard. Some teams have been losing that they shouldn't, but my Final Four is in no particular order: Kansas, Tennessee, Xavier, and the number 1 ranked right now, Purdue. Because Purdue is just looking unbeatable right now.
Right. Well, they're always beatable in the tournament. So
Absolutely.
that's the only issue.
It's a matter of time before they boil
Hey,
over.
Nate, you're next.
So not gonna lie, college basketball not exactly my expertise. So I kind of just looked at the rankings, like, oh, they look good. So I went Purdue. I think the Big 12, they might get 2 teams. I went with Kansas State because why not? Arizona's been getting hot at the right time, and Tennessee's. I know they laid an egg against Florida, but they've been really strong throughout the season. So that's my Final Four.
All right, Emily, let's hear yours.
Okay. Have to start out with Purdue. Okay, everyone saw that one coming. Then I have Duke, Kentucky, and Xavier. Those are my Final Four predictions. I think they're solid. Some of them are very hit or miss, but, I always like to give some help to underdogs and things like that, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited.
Right, you've got 2 huge underdogs in that group with Duke and Kentucky. Both of them, I believe, are unranked right now, but are blue bloods. So last year we saw, 8-9 seed North Carolina be able to take it all the way to the national championship game. So It's March. Anything can happen. My Final Four, y'all are basic going with Purdue because you're crazy if you think Purdue's not getting second rounded by somebody. I'm going to be going with Alabama, Houston, Texas, and Arizona. I have no clue where my picks are coming from. They're darts. They're thrown out of board. I thought we were playing college football. I got Alabama and Texas in there, and it's just, I don't even know what's going on with these picks. But Alabama, love their team right now. They're very good. Kind of quietly, not really hearing a lot of people talk, but they did lose by 26 to Oklahoma last week.
Yeah.
Also, Arizona. I don't know what it is about the Pac-12. Just like them getting into the Final Four. And then Houston, out of our own conference, watch them play. They're for real. Now, out of you guys over there, which one do you think has the best Final Four?
Oh, it's definitely me, even though I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Nate. That's a stretch.
Right. Noah, I like yours with Kansas. Obviously a solid choice. But let's get into something where I did not have such a solid choice, which was last week in primetime picks. Emily, Aaron over there, you got your first primetime pick win with Tennessee absolutely demolishing Texas. Now, I know the score shows that it was an 11-point game, but it felt like it was not close for the entire game. Something went on with the score there a little bit where it got taken offline, and then, I don't know, it just seemed like Tennessee was up by 20. But, Emily, you got the correct pick there, so congrats on your win.
Correct. Thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to my grandma for letting me know that I won. She keeps up with that, and she's like, "Em, you won primetime picks." So everyone is I think everyone, me and my grandma, are very excited that I won this last primetime pick. But I'm going to be even more excited when I win 2 in a row because my new pick is Miami.
Right, so Miami is going on the road to Clemson, and we're all going against you here. I don't know if we're thinking this is football, but Noah, you told me Clemson was the easy pick. Why is that?
Man, okay. Well, it was the easy pick, and then, of course, they go and lose to Boston College. However, Miami has struggled. They've lost, 4 of their past 8 games? They are not a consistent team whatsoever. That's why I believe that Clemson, I think they are more consistent. Yes, they just lost to Boston College, but they are not dropping another one in a row. And Miami is struggling just to win 2 in a row.
All right, Nate, why are you going with Clemson?
I'm kind of Emily, Aaron. Did your grandma pick Miami, or she didn't give you a pick?
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay, then I think I'll switch my pick to Miami because I don't want to go against
Wow.
Emily Aaron's grandma. I'll trust her intuition.
Wow, I might want to go to Emily's grandma's side. Well, I'm going with Clemson. That's the way that we're going to do it here. So, let's go ahead and get into my nightlight for the week. It was a wonderful college basketball segment. My nightlight is going to be somebody from the UCF basketball team, and I want to give some love to this person because they have recently hit a milestone that we don't see out a lot of collegiate athletes. And I'll tell you who it is when we come back from break.
Welcome to HCF Hot Takes. I'm Johnny Jackson. We've got Emily Aaron to my right and Maluka Costa to my left.
Hello and welcome to our segment of Hot Ones. I'm here with Noah Kemper and Grant
Wheeler.
Yep, I knew that. Grant Wheeler.
Listen, I'm a Bulls fan, but I just can't ever argue against LeBron. I watched him my whole life.
I've been going back and forth with this debate for a long time. It's got to be Michael Jordan.
Whatever she wanted. I would wake up in a maid costume for Doja Cat.
Brutal.
Jeffrey Laux, no question.
Richie, I would give it to Richie.
It is not Richie. It is not Richie.
No, it's Jeff.
Richie's pronouns are he, they, because he cannot be him.
What?
Oh, wait a second.
I'm gonna have to also agree and say Jeff. He always is spiffy.
It might be Cameron. Cameron's had some good fits.
Out of the women, Norelli always dresses really, really cute.
Oh, that went so awful.
It's basketball.
College football, I think, is the best sport to watch. If you don't like soccer, it's because you suck at it.
I think college football is the best.
Thanks for watching.
All right, welcome back to our second segment of Nighttime here today. My nightlight, if you didn't guess it over commercial break, as the wonderful Handra Montana said, is Ithiel Horton. And Ithiel Horton is a god, all right? He just reached 1,000 career points in his collegiate career. That's pretty impressive, all right? We got him on the team. Noah did say he's inconsistent, but hey, guy could drop 12, 13 points a night, and on some nights he gets 18, 19. I'm fine with it. Now, let's get into it to those boys over there on the couch. Nate Marrero still sticking with us on a booster seat. But Mason
I got pit stains now, too.
Mason Migliera, I have to pronounce your name right because you always tell me I never do. I promise I can do it.
On the show, you always pronounce it wrong. In the studio, we're perfectly fine, but then when it's on the show, it's like butcher, and I'm like, you know how to say it. So
I know, just the words get tangled sometimes. Give
I
me a
love you. It's
break.
okay.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, we love you.
We're talking about this wonderful softball team, which I went to a good number of games last year, and they're really good with Jada Cody returning to this team. So I'm going to ask you over there. Last year, we went 49-14, but we're losing a lot of our better pitchers this year. Are we going to be as good as last year and have a chance to host another regional game?
Well, I think their offense is going to have to step up. I mean, Gianna Mancha and Kama Woodall were two of the best pitchers in the nation. You know, and the only thing, they do have a lot of offense coming back, and I think they're going to have to carry them early because there are quite a few question marks with the pitching rotation because of how much they relied on those two last season.
Right. Now, Emily, I'm going to ask you, will you be attending the softball games with us? Because me and Doug always go, and we'd love to have some more people come out because the softball team is amazing, and they deserve more fans at the game.
1,000% I will be there. I'm very, very excited to watch them play this year, especially since we were coming off the greatest season in program history. I hope we can repeat history, just like everyone says, but this would be tremendous for our women's softball team. Well, it is our women's, it's our softball team. But we won regionals, beat Michigan twice, and I'm so excited to see how they do this because we did lose two of our best pitchers. So will that slow our team down this year? Will that break our stamina? Will we be able to keep up like we did last year? I really hope so because last year was really, really, really good.
Now, hey, anytime you could beat Michigan twice in a row, you know I'm going to be on your board. I'm a Michigan hater, and y'all know that. I hate the state of Michigan, hate the teams there. I mean, nothing good about that state, sorry. Mason Migliera over there. We got a lot of returning firepower. Shannon Doherty, Jada Cody, a couple other ones coming in there that'll step up this year. So like that, but we're losing our pitchers. Do you think this team will be able to do better than getting swept by Oklahoma?
I think it's so unfortunate last year how we had such a great season that we just have to go and play Oklahoma.
Right.
And they ended up winning the entire thing. That just seems to be a theme, you know, with our soccer team having to play UCLA.
Yeah.
They end up winning the whole thing. Maybe it's just a theme. If you want to win the championship, you go through us. But as for this season, I think that they're going to do great. They got a couple transfers, actually. Jasmine Williams from Oregon, she had a fantastic freshman year over at Oregon. She was an actually all Pac-12 first team. And then we also got Chloe Evans from Minnesota. She's a transfer from Minnesota, outfielder, very solid player. She's actually super clutch. She hit .411 with 2 outs and 23 RBIs as well with 2 outs. So that's just clutch. When you're coming up to bat with 2 outs, you need to keep the inning going. She was able to do that. So I think those 2 pickups are going to be huge to improving this offense with Jada Cody, of course.
Now, Nate, we had some big wins last year, beating Georgia, beating Virginia Tech 1 out of the 3 times we played them, beating Michigan, obviously, even though they weren't that good. I mean, we got some tough games this year, and do you think they're going to be able to make a good run at this thing?
I think they can, but they're going to need their offense to carry them, especially early. It might take a bit to figure out the rotation, who they want to start when. But, I mean, if Jada Cody can do what she did last season and other players like Elise Volpe, Kennedy Searcy, Ashley Griffin can take the next step and keep on improving, man, that offense is going to be a problem.
Right, I hope it is. They're so much fun to watch, and I can't wait to be going to their games. Now, they do play against Georgia this next coming weekend. I'll be working that game. Show out or shut up, because this is going to be a big game. I'm pretty sure Georgia's a top team, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're both ranked in the top 20. UCF and Georgia, they're ranked around like top 10 or top 20, top 15.
UCF is number 18.
Yeah.
I can't remember what Georgia is, but
Yeah, no, Georgia's ranked 2 though.
we got some respect. We got people on notice, which I'm very happy about. Obviously, again, carried by Jada Cody, but this entire team is phenomenal.
And just to add one more point, they were very sophomore heavy last year. So I mean, if
Jada
ideally
Cody's
they
a-
keep on improving, sky's the limit.
Right, still kind of a young team. Not a lot of seniors on this team. I was looking at the roster last night. Now, let's go to a team that is looking like we got a lot of new players, and I know, Emily, you want to bring up one of these players, but let's talk about our baseball team. All right, last year, not the best showing, not the worst either, 35-25, but not a lot of firepower returning to this team other than Ben McCabe. How do you think this baseball team is going to be with your favorite athlete of all time on the team?
I think, okay, actually, I don't really know how they're going to do it, because last year they were decent. They weren't great, and they weren't super bad. They were 35-25, and it's difficult to say. It's too early of a call, I would say. It depends on how their team plays out. We want to see what they have to offer, things like that. But my favorite football player is on the baseball team, JRP, number 10. What is he? Outfielder?
Outfielder, yeah.
Right? Yeah, he's an outfielder.
He ain't going to be
I
playing.
will be at every baseball game, ready to root him on.
Watching
I'm
him
so
sit the
excited.
bench.
I really hope that he does good in baseball. It's unique to see players in college do more than one sport and be good at them. So I'm excited to see what he can do for that. But our first 3 games are super winnable. Siena should be super easy. Last year we beat them all 3 times in the 3-game series. So I'm very excited for that, because I definitely think we're going to start out with a 3-game win. Boys on the couch, what do you have to say about that? Do you think we're going to win these first 3 games?
Yes, I mean, they beat them pretty good last year. So if they lose 1 or 2 to Siena, then I think we can sound the alarms.
Yeah.
But
it's a team that they should beat. I want to bring up one player, Lex Bodeker. He was a freshman last year, and he got 51 starts. This is a slash line, 330, 426, 414. That is, for a freshman, and 51 start. Oh my God, I can't even. That is phenomenal.
No.
And for him he's going to just improve this upcoming season. So I'm looking forward to him.
Before we go to Emily's Nightlight, Nate, is there one more thing you want to add about this baseball team? Because I know we didn't talk too much about him.
Ben Vespi and I think Kyle Kramer, they made the first team all conference for the preseason. Ben Vespi really came on in the starting rotation. He started in the bullpen, became a starter because of injuries. If he can take the next step, that's going to be huge for them.
All right, love to see it. Hopefully this baseball team can pull out a nice victory. I'll be working the baseball game against Siena next. I think it's February 19th in a couple weeks. Maddie said she's working with me. Can't wait for it. Emily, take us into the break.
Alrighty, so my nightlight is someone on our women's basketball team. She's a sophomore and a forward. Let's see if you can guess who it is after this commercial break. she's a sophomore on our women's basketball team, plays forward, and the last game she scored 15 points. For a sophomore, she does carry a lot of our weight on the team. She's a very phenomenal player, and I'm so excited to see what she does for the rest of the season. Now, this is the perfect transition into segment here because we are going to be talking about women's basketball. I'm so excited. I love our women's basketball team. We do amazing every single time. And this is the third game in a row that we've lost, so I'm a little nervous to get into this topic. But we are still joined by Mason, and we have Andrew Montana that is joining us for this segment as well. So, boys, what do we think about third loss in a row?
Bad. It's not good.
I agree.
Losing streaks are not fun, and it's not even like these games are really like competitive. We're losing to Tulane 64-50, USF 83-51.
Just to also throw it out there, in January, we went 1-6, having started out 5-0 in November. That's like preposterous, like winning percentages. Like I don't know what to say. I did the research. We're 140th, more or less, in like national free throw percentage and 280th in 3-point percentage. Our shooting has to get better. And one of our most recent games, I believe it was against Temple, we shot 10% from three. 10%. That's some Little Tykes percentages, bro.
I'm terrible at basketball, but like I think I could probably make more than that. Like honestly,
like Camden could do better than that.
Andrew,
He's really bad.
I was just giggling because you and your note cards, you look so silly. You got your little note cards in your hand, and just like you said, that is preposterous.
Are we supposed to be talking about the women's basketball team?
Yes.
That's flabbergasting to me that you guys are going off topic.
So let's get into the women's basketball game because we almost went to a game last night, but unfortunately, I mean, maybe good luck or lucky for UCF, but that game got postponed.
Yes.
Like, that was a little bit of a break. What was it? SMU couldn't get out because of weather?
Yeah. It was, I believe, snowing very heavily in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's a good break for our basketball team, our women's basketball team. I mean, when you're ailing like this, I could not think of the word. You just need something that like gives you a break, and this is just nature, just saying. Mother Nature just yeah.
Helping us out, basically.
Yeah, it definitely is helping us out, and it's giving us a little break. And we got ECU on Saturday, so hopefully we can kind of get back on track.
I don't think we're going to win that, though.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're higher ranked. They've won more in the conference. They won more overall. Considering the fact that we don't seem to be playing like a team, it just seems to be individual play.
I'm trying to be
optimistic too. Like I'm really hoping that they win, but having gone to like 90% of their January games and walking
maybe you should
out
just stop
with,
going.
I mean, the one game we won, it was against Wichita State, in which I was present.
Maybe you're the problem. I'm just kidding. You're not the problem.
Yeah, when you put it like that,
So
I'm just
let's
kidding.
look
it's
at
like
a
the Michael Durr
positive
effect.
thing. You talked about individual play. Let's talk about Destiny Thomason because obviously she is a very good individual player. Another double-double. She's putting up Domantas Sabonis numbers in college basketball. I mean, she's fantastic, isn't she, Emily?
She is one of our best players on the team. And I think this is why I have a little faith, is because you have some of those star players that are just mixed in there with all the losing and impact. They are, I tried to say it in a nice way, but they are what is giving this team some hope because people like Destiny are showing out and showing up at these games, and it's our only hope. Players like Destiny are our only hope for this team. But I completely agree with Mason. I think having the game versus SMU postponed and having that little bit of a break, because when you're losing and losing and losing, that's literally just bringing your stamina down. It's bringing down your
Morale.
It's bringing down everything. It's not a good feeling to lose back to back to back like that. So I definitely think, Andrew, that we could win against East Carolina with that little postponed time in between. You know, crank up some new strategies and things like that.
Let's hope so.
I think we could have a chance.
I think so too, but I mean, their records are very similar, I will say. But once again, going back to them being just individual, like an individual-based team. You got Destiny Thomas, who will give you 14 and 10 with 2 blocks per game, and with very efficient percentages too. But you also got someone who I think is also another very important part of this team, being Anshana Hutton. She'll give you Dennis Rodman numbers any night.
Just
Great
compared
player.
to Dennis
We're
Rodman.
talking about individual players.
We have a new sport that we're going to talk about here, which actually, I'm not going to lie, I went to the event a couple weeks ago. It is so much fun, and I'm working the women's game this weekend. But let's talk about men's tennis, who is 1-3 right now, I believe. They've lost to Ohio State, and they've lost to Florida, 2 top 20 teams. Ohio State's ranked second, so, like,
That's crazy.
that's okay. Yeah, I just wanted to gloat about Ohio State tennis.
Of course
but,
you do, yeah.
But tennis team, solid. Leighton Cronje, and, of course, Bogdan Pavel. Guy's really good. Now, boys, tennis, men's, go.
So yeah, Bogdan Pavel is one of 2 players on UCF men's tennis team that has more than 500% winning throughout the season. The other person on the UCF men's tennis team is none other than Mehdi Ben Chakroun, the Moroccan miracle. Fun fact about the UCF tennis team, actually, 1 of our 10 players are local, as in Floridian. The other 9 are international, one of them being Mehdi. He is putting up 2-1 this season in singles, having beaten Georgia Southern and Tulsa, and then 1-2 in doubles, having lost to Tulsa and Florida. Building on top of that, he also has a lot of international praise, to my knowledge. He won the 2022 Davis Cup in August of 2022. He beat Cote d'Ivoire's Abdul Aziz Bationo to take home the hardware. Great game, great player, and he's a freshman, so we got a lot of hope for our UCF men's team going forward.
Andrew, that was so good. Now, Mason, I'm going to ask you about the women's tennis team because they're pretty good. Only 1 loss right now. They did beat Arizona State, who's a top 20 ranked team, but they lost just recently to Auburn. Now, unfortunate, but we're going to get back on track on Saturday, aren't we?
Yeah, 100%. We play LSU, who is 4-0, but we'll see what happens. I did find this. Noelle, I don't even know how to pronounce this last name. Seidanova?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She beat the number 78 ranked, I believe, in women's tennis, DJ Bennett, who was a part of Auburn. So that's pretty cool, I think. That should give us some hope.
Oh yeah, well, Mehdi beat number 73 from Georgia.
There we go. Look, we got some hope.
Yeah.
We're doing great. I'm proud of this team right now.
Yeah.
Our tennis teams, plural, men and women, although this is a sport that might get looked over, they are some of our best players.
They're great athletes.
They are bringing out these numbers. It's incredible. We have the best players on our men and women's tennis team. It's just really great. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have left for this segment and our show. Thank you so much for tuning into Nighttime. Go Knights and Charge On.
Change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap.